How's it going, everybody? FCB here. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing fantastic. And I hope you're all in amazing spirits. And aren't I a lucky boy? Look at the two lovely ladies I have here with me today. We have the amazing Tanja Powell. How are you, darling?
Good. I literally just rolled in from Vedette, like literally.
Just rolled in.
Yeah.
And I think Tracy just literally rolled in as well. That's all right, Tracy.
I literally got to the hotel like 5 minutes ago. I just left the car, left everything in all my crap in the car, and just popped on.
Awesome. Thanks for coming on, Tracy. Awesome.
Yeah. It's fun. It's a high vibe show. Can't miss it.
It is.
Right?
That's exactly what it's all about. Being on an amazing vibration. Now, Tanja, talk about your little weekend away. Please,
I sent
please
you a
divulge.
video. I sent you a video.
I know, I got the video, but just talk about it a little bit. Just, we've got to build up, before we put the video up. Yeah.
So we had really good weather. We had a lot of great conversations and connecting, and some amazing food, absolutely, from Chef Agathe, which is incredible. She had it all packed out beautifully for us. Yeah, everyone kind of rolled in at their own time. We did swimming in the lake. We went up to the center a couple times and did a pipe ceremony there with the Star Nation pipe, which, for those that don't know, David Pills, who will be having a show bi-monthly, I hear, coming on board.
Next week.
Yeah, he can tell his story around that, but there's prophecies around this, and prophecies that also encompass what's happening in the world right now. So this is the stuff that makes me vibrate even higher, right? Like talking about this and finding out from an astrological level and from a Hopi, all the Native American level, and all these different abilities to have these all pointing in the same direction. Astrology, right? Even, science is even pointing in we're in a simulation direction. And I just found out 15 minutes ago that the simulation just went live recently. So we were on a loop trying to find out where all the holes were in the program, not unlike a new video game. And so from 2016 until just recently, that's what was going on. And now it's literally just a couple days ago, it's go time. It's good. We're all here now. This is something we have not done before. So this is a new adventure. This should all feel fresh. It's done. It's clean. It's clear. And so, it should be really interesting to see what happens next.
Yes. And Tracy was at the same place as well. Where'd you, Tracy?
Tracy's elsewhere.
Okay. So you went through remote, like a remote desktop style, there. Tapped in that way, right?
Yeah. I'm feeling to segue into that, Tanja, it's our future selves. So that completely makes sense with what you're saying. The activations in the last couple of days, when I went to see, then I went to see Rex, it was just amplified. That's how this is happening, right? When we all get together in person, this codes and stuff that are coming in is just, it's incredible. It's, what we experienced even in Georgia.
Yeah.
It was amazing, huh?
Yes.
Oh,
so what do you mean by codes? Just explain. Yeah,
So it's my perspective, I guess, that we have codes in our DNA, right? So when we, go places or we meet people, we activate those codes within each other. And then also with Gaia, right? With the earth, right? We activate codes. Yeah. So when I met Tanja and Norma, and that's what I thought was going to happen, it was like a blast. I mean, Norma, I literally, we were both up the first night. It was just incredible. And Tanja, Miss Rock Climber. Oh my goodness! I could Rex. We have a joke.
You just popped out of the. You just manifested that, Tracy. You know that.
Yeah.
You're talking about Rex, and he just came.
Yep.
That's the instant manifestation right there.
Yep.
We could go on and on about that. Oh my goodness!
Darling, just bump up your volume a bit on your mic. Yes. I need to hear your beautiful voice.
Hopefully that's better.
Keep going. Keep going. We need
Yeah, I was
we need
gonna
some
say,
volume
go
on your
and
mic.
on about that, but I mean, when I went to see Rex, the codes, the same thing happened. We went to Moody Garden Pyramids. Remember that, Rex?
Yep.
And Rex starts, we both got the goosebumps. So just a background, Moody Gardens is basically these 3 pyramids, right? There's like a science and a aquarium, and I can't remember the other, what's the other one, Rex? It's like a
butterfly type of rain.
Yeah. But the point being that those pyramids have a specific frequency signature to them. And I had gotten some information that those pyramids replicate ones that are actually out in the Gulf, right? That were from Atlantean times or whatever. I had been getting that for a while. And so Rex, one of the first things he says to me is he says, hey, do you know about this flower garden area? It's this sanctuary. And immediately I got the knowing, those are the pyramids. That's where they're located. I had been looking for that for my mapping. And Rex just brings it up, right? And then
I saw a picture of that. I think Tanja showed me those pyramids in Georgia.
Yes, same thing.
Yeah.
Tanja, Miss Rock Climber. I look up and she's literally, I'm not kidding. I'm like, how did you get up on that rock? And she's literally up there, already up on the rock. I'm not kidding. Like, she's incredible.
And she's like rock climber, snake handler, mushroom muncher. We're going to keep adding that to her list of, talents.
Shape, but
Yeah.
right?
How are you, Rex?
Is your thing, Rex? You said she was like Moses up there.
In my image, she's just scaling the sun, cattle crawling up inside of this pyramid, with robes flying behind her. And she gets up there and she's got these rods of God. She just stabs them in the top. It's like Moses. I mean, it's like I'm reborn right there. Yeah.
I can picture you, Tanja. I can picture you like you just got so much adrenaline, but it's all natural. It's just how can I say, you're high on life, and that's why I say you don't need to be doing stuff to be high on anything. You're already high enough as it is. Like, be able to climb like a rock climber, like Spider Woman.
Yeah,
pretty good. Pretty good effort. So Rex, how you been, mate?
Oh, good. How are you been?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Keeping busy as usual. As usual. And this is what I'm saying, guys. It's important. Like, I know there's a lot going on as usual, like, with Intel and whatever. But how are we going to get through this? The only way we're going to get through this is basically to be healthy mind, healthy body, healthy soul. Right?
yeah.
And that's why I say be in a great headspace. Have a healthy distraction. It's very important. If you don't do that, you're not going to get through it. You're going to drive yourself insane, right? Trust me.
Yeah.
So, ladies, and gents, do you want to add to that?
Well, I think love yourself. I mean, we just, Rex talks about that a lot, but really just empowerment. I think that's the big thing, right? Going within, like we talk about all the time, but just being sovereign, loving yourself. I'm sure you two can add more on that, but that's my feeling, right? Just keep your vibe high. Yeah. And that's what you do, and be around like-minded people. And the more that you can get together in groups and the more that you can talk about it, the higher the vibration rises to where nothing can get in your field.
Yep.
And, use your discernment, but that's where we're at. That's my feeling. All the movies still going on. Yeah. But we can be up, up here. Right.
Yeah. The movie's way over there. Like
the movie's like gone out of my reality. The movie's, I'm sorry, it's just like blasted out. I'm not even keeping up with it.
Right.
That's my job.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. We have you to do that.
Yeah, that's what I do. Rex, what's your thoughts, mate, about keeping yourself in a great, headspace?
I mean, first of all, I don't sleep by my phone. That's that's what I do, because it just goes, it'll just break up your night, So anyway, that's you need to sleep. But I just got off of one, a good 8 hours of one that was domed, and no, I didn't wake up, no pee, no nothing. It was all just solid sleep, and no dreams. Just woke up ready, in a good headspace. But what I want to say about how I got to that, I do believe love yourself, as I've said that over and over and over again, because it was real to me. You had that time alone where, finishing the teaching and because of the all that mess. I got out of that. So there's that time that I was in between and had to be by myself. So during the day when you're by yourself and your wife's gone to work and whatever, but you're doing things around the house, but you're visiting yourself. So I got no distractions from children and kids and all that. It's just me. And with that, I learned to love myself because I was popping up things from your childhood that you get mad about. It was just kind of coming. I was like, I didn't realize what was happening to me, but I was getting rid of those things and they were just popping up and I deal with them by myself just during the day, whatever. And I came out of that going, I love me and nobody's going to do shit to me again. Know what you love yourself all the way out to the fibers of every bit you got. You can walk through water. You can walk through anything. Nobody's going to hurt you because they won't. And you just got to love yourself. And the only appointment that you need with anybody is for yourself to the appointment in front of the mirror and look at you and go, you know what? I don't care what you've done to that point. It doesn't matter. You're here right now and you look at that person and you love that person right there all the way through. And nothing can touch you. Your frequency be so high. That's where I operate from.
Yeah.
So you're not fearful because fear is one of those things where fear is when you don't know what the outcome might be, or you don't know maybe you'll have to line up and take that thing. So you don't not sure you're convinced all the way. That's where fear comes in. No, I knew I was never going to do that. I knew no matter what. And when you know those things, there's no fear. So
yeah, that's good. That's great. Now, 17 ranches. Love that one. Independence 98 equals 17 equals Q.
Yes.
God has a plan. 98 trust. 98 chosen one. 98 mission. 98 goodness. 98 independence. 98 good vibes. 98 have a nice day. And 98 smiley face. And it's Tanya. When I think of a smiley face, I think of Tanya all the time.
Yeah.
98 do not fear. 98 God first. 98. Right. Thanks very much for that, 17 ranches. Now, I just got a question. Thank you, Crash It today. I'm taking up pickle ball to keep me distracted. Now, what's pickle ball? Is it throwing a jar of pickles around? What the hell is it all about? Has anyone heard about pickle ball?
Pickleball is like a combo between, I don't know, say tennis and racquetball. So yeah, it's got a big kind of wiffle ball. Yeah, it's a game. It's on a tennis court, a little bit different rules.
Yeah. If you said pickleball in Australia, they'll be thinking that you're throwing a jar of pickles at each other and, kicking it through goalposts. You know what I mean? Now, let's talk about your weekend away, right? Tanya, I've got the video ready to roll. What do you reckon when we bring it up and you can talk it through?
You guys can see what we did this weekend.
Yeah, exactly. I'm really keen to see David in action with his drums. Is that David with the drums?
Yeah.
All right. Unmute me, Tanya. Here we go.
Awesome. Thank you.
Wow.
That was,
amazing.
Just watching it, I had the God bumps,
Yeah.
Amazing.
It was lovely. actually look like a really, how can I say, no distractions, no the outside world interfering, right? Just pure, how can I say, just pure relaxation, pure spiritual energy, positive vibes.
We brought everyone in and we had a little circle time and had a discussion and introduced and did a check-in with everyone after traveling for the day. And then the next morning we got up and we went up to the center. And that evening we went around and we rebuilt the lodge. So there's a purification lodge, also known as a sweat lodge. And the way the lodge is built, there's a fire pit in the middle. And then the ladies always put the blankets around because it's like a womb, right? And you're wrapping the blankets around it. It's a connection to earth there. And then outside of that, there's an altar. And then there's the fire. And in the fire are these huge lava rocks. And those lava rocks are called grandfathers because they're older and they're brought in and they get like, you have to have a fire keeper, and that's generally a male all the time. And that person is tending to those to get them really, really hot to have the sweat lodge. And then David hosts the sweat lodge inside. I was doorkeeper. But it's this beautiful symbiotic story about going in and purification of you. And each level we go in 4 times and come out, has different herbs, different sort of layers that we're working on. And then you go outside, and as you cool off, whatever medicine he put on the fire was going in. And so, yeah, we all felt amazing. We all slept so well that night. And absolutely what Rex said about getting off the device, like my phone was not on. It doesn't work unless I went to the lodge because I had to message my kid. But other than that, it was off and like far away from me. And it was so good to have a break. And I'm like, I didn't miss anything. Nothing happened though.
I mean, it's like I'm plugging, as you said, I'm plugging from the Matrix, basically.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah, and it's wonderful. I've plugged into some mosquitoes though. I have a few like
There must be, you got sweet blood, they're attracted to that. Because you're from Canada and you drink maple syrup all day.
Right? Yeah. And live in an igloo. Yeah. Got it.
Exactly right. That's what that's exactly what people think of me. There's kangaroos jumping up and in the front yard and the back, right? And koala bears swinging from the trees and all that sort of stuff, and we're constantly out there having barbies and throwing shrimps on them. That's what they think we're about. Just like you Canadians, we think that you drink maple syrup, it's on tap at the backyard. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And we're already looking at going up again mid-September with David to do another round.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So if obviously if people want to be a part of that experience, okay, how do they get in contact with you? Through Adventure Sport Connection, Tanja?
Yep, or my Telegram page.
Website?
Yep, thank you.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Yeah.
We haven't posted it quite yet, but we will. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No, awesome. So you guys weren't part of that, were you? That experience?
Not this time.
Not this time. I'm going to Vedette Lake for sure.
Yeah, the energy lines are so good, and I keep feeling the dragon coming in. So dragons are all around at the moment, in my opinion. So there's also a dragon there.
Yeah, let's talk a little more about that because I didn't get to tune in as much. If you don't mind. I saw Norma's post, but I just haven't. I'm just like you. I haven't been on the device the whole time because I've been traveling.
So this book here talks all about ley lines. Yeah, and more about sort of capturing the energy or essence of dragons. But, in speaking with Lisa Harrison, we were just discussing it, and it's like, we really feel there's dragons lying in the land. Well, she's convinced that the dragons made this realm, that they energetically created it. And so they're on another higher vibration at the moment, but yeah, they're definitely around us and everywhere. And that's how we found the Ascension Island that we'll talk about because it needs to be decoded 100%.
Yeah, that one's mad, that one.
Yeah, I went crazy on that. I said a bunch of stuff. We have a signal chat and I was going nuts. I said, I got to go to sleep.
Yeah. And this is what happens when you start focusing on what you do want in the future and you get onto this trajectory. And Rex too, like Tracy going to see Rex after we had our connection in Georgia and hanging out and doing stuff. And we're just building on this community and energy of what do we want to work on moving forward, and how do we want to help humanity in a new way. And that's what's been so beautiful with it. It's unfolded so amazingly. Yeah.
Because my feeling is, again, I said this before the show, but we are, a lot of us, I feel like our future selves, however that works, I don't know. We're in Space Force, a lot of us, and we are essentially coming back as we integrate more of our higher selves. We're getting that knowledge in. Does that make sense? That's kind of how I'm.
Yep.
Yeah, it's beautiful, and we're all activating each other.
Right, and we all have different gifts that are very complementary. But we all see things quite differently, which I think is the best part, because if we saw everything the same, well, that would get a little boring now, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's boring. We got to spice it up.
Right? Absolutely.
And these retreats, Tanya, they're obviously for, for people's benefit, right? Obviously,
100%.
There is so much things you can take away from it. First of all, you get a really amazing rest. And I mean a really great rest at that, and also eating Chef Agat's food. I think it adds to the experience, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, 100%. Although we did have tacos on the way in, because there's really good tacos.
Sorry, Chef Agat, but they spoiled it. All right.
Yeah.
And do you guys happy, Independence Day? Guys,
yes,
great stuff.
Put my headphones in because I think we're going to have some fireworks soon. So.
Oh, great. Okay. Now, what does Independence Day mean to you?
Well, to me, it means, freedom, right? For the United States, but just freedom, sovereign. All the things kind of that we're talking about really embodies, I feel like, this date, right? This 4th of July, whatever the history, I know history has been turned around and twisted, but that's my feeling. And I feel like we got some really good things happening right now. I know it doesn't look like it maybe with the movie, but we do. That's my feeling.
Right. Okay, so you know how you celebrate Independence Day, which means, it's obviously to do with the fight against the British, and having your independence. Here in Australia, we have Australia Day. Now, Australia Day is actually it's a day of when the Anglo-Saxons came here and took over the indigenous people, basically, right? Mm-hmm. So realistically speaking, here in Australia, we don't have an Independence Day, right? Every day we come to Australia Day, they think, no one gives a thought, right? Think about it. No one gives a thought. They think about the amazing, the barbecue and the laughter and the social, socializing and all that. But no one actually knows what, say, for example, Australia Day is. And there probably is in America people that don't comprehend what Independence Day really means. It's not just a shindig to get together and, get pissed and, have a barbecue. You know what I mean? And that's what it's about. We really got to comprehend there's a reason why we call it Independence Day, right? But did you know that they're all batting for the same team? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You got the English and the ones that are, the Americans, right? Mm-hmm. Now, I like to look at things in a different perspective, right? And I don't mean to be a downer, but what I do is I look at things at different perspectives, as in what really does it mean, right? As I said, I've been able to tell you what Australia Day is. It's the occupancy over the Indigenous, right? The Aborigines, or what you want to call them, right? That was a bad day for us, realistically speaking, right? Yeah. Now, you ask somebody what it means, you'll get a different opinion each time. People will say, Independence Day, means, freedom. Others might say Independence Day is just a day where we get together and have a barbecue. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And that's why I ask, what does it really mean to you? And your answer was amazing because you've taken something and you've elevated it. In other words, to a positive, vibration. You get what I mean? It's what you take from it.
Yeah.
Hopefully you get what I'm trying to say. I can get very deep into things,
Yeah.
What do you think?
It's whatever you make it, right? What do you?
Exactly.
The frequency of it, right? Yeah.
Exactly that. So it's what I'm trying to say is that you can take something that's negative and elevate it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Negative and elevate it. Yeah.
Norma.
Norma.
How are you, Norma?
Norma's in the house.
How you going?
There's a big boom. Maybe there's another vortex going on here. I don't know. Who knows?
I just got goosebumps.
Yeah, me too.
What do you think Independence Day means to you, mate?
Well, I'm a history guru, so I know a lot of things, and so it's been toned down and been anti-inflated to me, because of what I know, and what it's supposed to mean. Sure, it does. It means the freedom, and it means those things. But there's also with the 50 states, there's other struggles that Texas has its own independence from Mexico, and it has its things like that. But there's always a war that has to happen from it, and there's always lots of carnage and things of the sort. And why we celebrate that, that it's just kind of offsetting sometimes when the real agenda behind a lot of these things. And what?
No, the vibrations. Your vibrations getting higher, and it's interfering with
mine.
Oh, just wait! If you had Hutch on here, we'd be in the shallow, we'd be blown out like we did in the video.
But anyway, my thing about that, so I can close on it. The history that I know about a lot of things, I've turned it to myself. Really, it's Independence Day is yours, and it's about. I'll reflect back when I owned me again, and I do. And I get goosebumps talking about it, but it's when I know that I'm in control. So Independence Day is when you're now independent. You're your own person, and nothing happens to you unless you approve it. Yeah. And it's going through me to happen. It's not going to be this where you can do this without my knowledge and those universal laws that are broken all the time and trickery and all these other things. No, I need to be in charge. I need to know you're coming through me, and that to me is independence. And that's what the message is underneath there, whether it's layered through wars and what have you. But that's what I kind of focus on now because I'm a little irritated with our own. So I just focus within for that.
Okay. And Norma, how are you, darling? You good?
Norma.
Glad to have you here.
The question is, what does Independence Day mean to you?
Independence means, for me, Independence Day is taking full responsibility for self. It means I have no dependency on anything whatsoever, but what I'm being led and guided by my higher self or source, I've come to find that independence is being given answers, not coming up with answers.
Yep. Now, did you know the difference, ladies and gentlemen, between liberty and freedom? Do you know what the differences are? There's a difference between freedom and a difference between liberty.
Educate us. Your opinion.
Educate us.
Right? Anyone?
Go for it.
I don't. Well, I don't. It seems to what comes to me from that would be one is that the things that bind you maybe are free. You're free from that. So now that you could say if you were in jail, you have liberty out of jail, but yet you walk into a situation that's still not free. You still don't have choices, and you still don't have things. So in one way, you've been freed or libertarian type of movement of that, but then you still are not free because you're into freedom would be the full sovereignty of yourself to make choices, and you still can't. You kind of got stuck a milestone, maybe. I don't know. I not thought about it that way.
You're on the money, Rex. You're on the money. You're on the money, mate. You are one smart cookie.
Yeah.
Norma, Tanja, Tracy.
Yeah, I just
Would
think,
you like to say your take on it?
freedom to me is sovereign, just being sovereign in your own being, just kind of what I was saying before. And, you know, liberty is kind of, I don't know, liberating yourself, breaking those chains, that type of, I don't know, I guess that's the description that I would use, but freedom, I like freedom much better, that, you know, sovereign, and nobody can come in, you know, in the discernment piece, nobody can come in, you know, we just had this conversation over and over this week with a couple of our groups. Nothing else can come into your field unless you okay that, right? You're a sovereign.
Yep.
So it's the discernment. Yeah.
Yeah. So the word freedom resonates more with you than the word liberty, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I think
Tanja?
it has to do with the fact that I don't resonate with the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep. You're
That's a
spot on
dude
there.
anyway, right? That's a dude.
Yeah, liberation
Oh
is
God, it's got all kinds of problems.
feeling liberated from confines, in my opinion.
Okay. Basically, the very simple term is that freedom is sovereignty, your own sovereignty, your God-given right. Liberty is the freedom that the government decides to give you. That's the two major differences right there. That's why we don't want liberty, we want freedom. You know, it's our God-given right to live in abundance, to live in happiness and joy, and to live without a life of fear, right? And to be controlled. Liberty is, we'll let you do this. We'll let you do that. So man is letting you to do something. You know what I mean? Whereas it's your God-given right to have freedom and to live your life, you know, in freedom without hurting anybody. Do you know what I mean? That's what the differences are.
Love
so I thought I'd
that.
share that with you.
Yeah. Yeah, love it.
Because everyone says, oh, liberty. Well, do you know what liberty really means? My point is that people need to start looking at what words really mean, what etymology of words. You know, look into history and question history. Because at the end of the day, history is exactly that. It's someone else's story being told. And as you know, man can manipulate anything. We've seen it in the Bible. We've seen it in a lot of places, yeah?
Yeah.
FCB, it's your mic. It's your mic because I muted Rex. It's your mic being funny. You want to see if you can fix it?
Is it his frequency or is it the mic?
I don't know.
The frequency, because I've got nothing coming on my end that's bad.
Yeah, but when I mute you, oh, hold on. No, it's still there. Okay, that's weird.
I just muted myself. It's not. It's the frequency. We
it's
have
on
the
me.
same problem. Yeah,
Okay.
we have the same
That's not
issue
me.
with Hutch.
It's Norma, I think.
No, there we go.
Yeah, I just muted it.
Okay, and Rex is muted. Let's unmute Rex. Sorry, guys, we're doing a sound check.
Yeah.
Unmute
Can you
Rex.
hear me
There we go.
clearly?
Okay. I'm okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah.
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 Now we can.
Okay,
Okay.
now unmute Norma.
All right, Norman, test.
Okay. Talk Norma?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Norma. Okay, do you have any headphones, Norma?
I do. I have to go get them.
Go get them. I'm just going to mute you. Okay,
Yeah.
there we go. Yeah, sorry, guys. We're
I told you it was right. You
Well,
can't, you know, I got my shit together with my son and all that.
We couldn't fix it on that one show, right? We never fixed it.
right?
Yeah. Oh, look, I heard you. You know, when you guys were on the show, what was it? Adventures for Connection, and Rex was off the scale. Cool. He was just like, mate, your frequency's all over the place. Hutch is like cutting in and out. It was just a lot of, you know, it was pretty full on.
I couldn't sleep for 2 weeks after that. Everybody's energy just rolling off of me.
Yeah, I'll always figure it out, guys.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about something else. A lot of people have been wanting to see this movie called The Sound of Freedom. You obviously heard of it, yeah?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. Right. Now I've heard, like Junique and I spoke about it. She spoke about it yesterday on her show, Healer's Perspective. She didn't think too much of it. I think people have got high expectations in the sense that they were waiting. Oh, the Clintons are involved in tunnels and adrenochrome, and no. If you're going to have that conception of it going to contain that kind of material, don't bother watching it. All right. This movie is specifically targeting the masses, the asleep, the normies, right? Not the ones that are aware and awaken and know all the other stuff. That's what they're trying to do. Because a lot of people have been disappointed in that sense, right? And the other thing is, it's like, how can I say, you can't just throw people in the deep end. You got to, as you said, use the drip, because too much information, as Q says, they'll end up in hospital.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be a great awakening. It'll be, something of the great mental breakdown, so to speak, and we don't want that happening. Now, there's also talk about Jim Caviezel, Tim Ballard not batting for the right team. Right? Now, you obviously heard that, Tanya, haven't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And as I said, it's important to have an open mind, because not all is what it seems, in the sense that, don't forget, you're talking about actors here, right? Now, what do actors do? They act. And really good actors can put on a great show. You know what I mean? So what I'm saying is that don't set yourself up for disappointment. Always have an open mind. What's your thoughts about that?
It's like all of this show, and the world is a stage, as Sugar Bee said. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you are the main character. So it depends on where you choose to put your energy. Are you going to, right? Like, I'm like, all right, that show's going on. Sound of Freedom's coming out. I don't attach to anything. I just observe everything. And when as soon as I feel I get too close to something, I got to go back again, because I'm like, no, you're looking too closely at that. Stand back and look at the big picture. And so, I keep saying this too, that this is all simulation, and we're manifesting beings, and we're manifesting our reality individually. What are you going to choose to put your energy into? What are you going to choose to attach to? And so I'm really big about, I'm going to have some freaking fun. What can I do that's fun? What can I do that's playful? What can I do to give you guys some inspiration around? There's so much more here to see besides what is history, in my opinion, is this old show, because to me it's done. Now, of course, everyone's waiting to see some things shift and change. Great. It'll happen when it happens, and you'll know 100%. But by focusing so much on it, I think you're really doing more damage than good to yourself, because you've got this opportunity right now to focus on manifesting what you want, and giving that, the energy that you're putting into everything else, put that energy into this is what I want. I know this is what I want. I'm going to write about it. I'm going to journal about it. I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to do art about it and express it to the universe, because then that's how it comes back to you.
Yeah, exactly that. Guys, do you want to add anything to what we're saying here?
Tracy?
Well, Tanya, just what you mentioned, we're literally doing that right now, right? We just did that with our trip, like the three of us getting together and then, going to see Rex. That's literally what we're doing, right? It's and again, I go back to, it's us, we're activating, each other, right? As we come, what do we want to create? That's why I said, if you can get around like-minded people, get out, Tanya always says that too, and Norman, get out in nature. If you can get off the devices, which I'm definitely guilty of. So it's been good for me on the trip to put that away for a bit. I think all of that helps. And going back to the Sound of Freedom, I think that's going to be a catalyst to help wake some people up. Now, regardless of who's what in the movie, that's my opinion. I feel like it's going to help. But again, for us, a lot of our group, we know that it's a movie. So what's that higher vibration? That's kind of what I would encourage everybody to do that, to really focus on that. And again, get around like-minded people, because you'll be amazed at what's going to manifest. It's I can't even write it down right now. There's so much, there's so many incredible things happening. So I'll let you talk, Rex.
Oh, well, I mean, I agree with all before what y'all just said. For me, it's just been, I felt like I was for the movie itself, I'm a protector of children because I was in that teaching and stuff, and I'm a teacher. I mean, it was like, I feel like I was, I'm your teacher if I'm teaching you that year or when after. It doesn't matter. I've always been your teacher if I've been it once, and I got goosebumps on all this. But anyway, when I left that was difficult to do for that reason, because I always loved that time with them, because it was like they had that in the aha moments, and they get it, which you can't get from the public, when they do that. But in a room that you're in, you can't. Okay. Well, that was very driving for me to be in that. Okay. So when I leaving that was kind of see this movie now, I was thinking, is it got a lot of children in it with this? Because I know the trafficking goes on. I know, and I don't need to see that to live it. It's like Tanya was saying, it's kind of like I know that I don't need to go to that to be convinced by any means. And so I probably wouldn't see it for that reason, not because I just don't want to go back down in there with the children and see that stuff. Okay.
Yes.
So, but I also had a conversation with my wife that explains a lot today, because funny how this goes. 'Cause I told her a while ago, I said, you know what I feel like after, Tracy was here, and that's such a surreal feeling when you actually, if that's what grid work was for me and opening that up, God, I already told her I got 3 more places I got to go to now, because I'm going to do it because I love it. Well, I was telling her, I feel like I'm pulling out of, and I don't know how to describe it because I just had this, but it was like I was pulling out of society in the sense I'm pulling way up of it, and I'm seeing the bigger picture from down below, and I'm in that process of pulling, so that energies don't affect me down there. Really, I'm just kind of like, does that make sense?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just a guy experiencing something as it is, but it is what it. But I feel like I'm pulled out up to where I can see over it all.
Yeah.
I mean, and she goes, "Yeah, I get that." And we were talking about it, but I don't know where to go with it. I'm still being pulled up, so I don't know where I'm going. But I can tell you, I see a lot of things from a perspective of, okay, I'm removed from it, but yet it's, I want to help, but I'm not swirling down right in among it anymore.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I don't know. I'm just talking what I feel like, and it's one of those moments for me. But I feel like that. That's how I view it. I don't want to be detached because I already know it. I know the feeling. I can empathically. I can go there, so I don't need to be reminded. But I'm starting to see the whole program, the whole show, and all its facets are coming together for me.
That's the thing, Rex. Like as Tanya said about, you can be the absorber or the observer, right? How can we actually, provide, our insight on things or decode and whatever if we're emotionally compromised, right? We don't detach ourselves emotionally, okay? Because you need to do that. Like, for example, we know there are things going on or have been going on in the past with the children and the tunnels and all that sort of stuff. But do we need to, we're aware of it, but if we're going to be constantly bombarded and focusing on that, we're not going to be able to focus on anything which is creating the Great Awakening, being part of that, and doing things that are more constructive in that sense, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah. Norma, anything you want to say, love?
It's, can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I can hear you now. Yeah. Great stuff.
I don't even focus on anything outside of what I need to do with myself each day, every day, daily. Because I look at it as that it's going to happen whether I'm a part of it or not. But where I'm a part of it is working on me. So my focus is always in my connection with higher self, source, guides, whatever it is that you connect with, because I know if I'm working on me internally and changing the things within me, then I'm changing the things that are going to happen outside of me. They're going to start reflecting what I feel within. So as far as where the movie is concerned, I really am not keeping up with it, to be honest with you. I'm just
Yeah.
not, because it's just where I'm at, because my focus is in being what it is that I want to see change. So that's where I'm at. I'm in nature every day. Begun to start doing qigong. I do a little bit of tai chi. I work that into my schedule, because what I'm doing is I'm moving that energy. I'm moving that body. I'm doing what I need to stay as grounded as possible and do what I can to get the avatar centered with the being that I'm becoming.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Because look, very importantly, we need to focus on inner work. You know, how can we help others if we can't help ourselves? You know what I mean? Like we can't be an emotional wreck. We need to be centered, as you said, Norma, grounded and centered. Okay, and that's why I guess a lot of people need to have a healthy distraction. It's very important that we just don't focus on what's Biden saying today, what's going on with Trump, blah, 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 blah. You know, you watch the kettle boil, you'll be watching it boil for a long time. You know what I mean? And you'll drive yourself insane. That's what I believe. Yep. What do you reckon, Tanya? Let's change the subject.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So
let's go for
yeah,
it.
just kudos to Norma, because she's getting a shout out here. So
yeah.
There we go.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, should we hit some of the questions going on?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, I'm going to go back to the top because that's important. May the 4th be with you is coming out, which is super cute. I saw a meme today with Baby Yoda that a girlfriend of mine, we watched Mandalorian together a long time ago when she was visiting me, and so we always share back and forth Baby Yoda memes. And Baby Yoda says, I got a pet to help me with my, an emotional support. Well, I got part of a pet. Okay, I got bacon. Right? Anyway.
What bizarro world would that be? A bloody pet? Bacon.
Right?
Bacon.
I don't know. It was just funny. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So there is a comment going on, which I can add a little to in Canada. So I found out today over 100 companies were bought out by the big corporations. So the supplements are coming from them. So in Canada, a lot of the health supplements are actually being, according to some speakers, the health supplements are being banned by the government, so they can't be used. Now, we got the rod out, so I don't know if everyone can see it. Hold on. There we go. Is this part of the show? Yes. So, right? And so even these corporations, it's just reminding you to be careful who you trust. And so just having been at the vet, there is all kinds like mullein and chamomile and arnica. It's all growing right there. And it's so cool. And yarrow. It's so cool to start to learn about the herbs that we can actually collect and use that are local. So I just want to encourage everyone to go find out what's local to you and get out hunting. And when Tracy and I were in Georgia and we were hiking, I was going, look, this is here, and this one's here, and this one's here. And she's like, how do you...
Something else I learned, right? In addition to her bringing up the rock, right?
Right?
Like Moses.
Wait till you come here, and when I take you up to Squamish, we'll do a little climbing.
I'm going to have to take some rock climbing lessons where we get
I got you.
With that.
We'll just top rope it. You're safe. You're safe. It's good for the mind. Absolutely. All right. Other questions coming in. FCB wanted your take on 777 on Friday. So
777, the number of heaven.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I've been in contact with Tom Numbers, so that's probably a question you can leave when Tom Numbers and I get together. So we're in the process of doing that.
Yeah. And and apparently Trump's having a rally that day. So, and 777 is a very big number at the moment. It also takes us into what's called the 888. And it's like this time of portal energy going on. We've got some really interesting astrology things happening over the last half of this month is going to be quite telltale going into August, and quite disruptible apparently. So we'll just wait and see what happens. Yeah. What are your thoughts on that, Rex? The 777?
I think of aircraft, but that's just me.
Yeah. Where's my spaceship? I ordered it. It's been like a month. I thought manifestation was instant now.
Well, I got goosebumps for that. So what's going on? There's something under that I just said. But yeah, I always think of.
Is it me or is it Rex?
I'm sorry, what?
You just keep freezing.
Yeah, I did.
Otherwise, no.
When I was with Tracy, and it was 98 degrees, and we were out there at Moody Gardens, I was like I was all over my face. It was everywhere. I was almost like needing a coat. It was weird like that. Yeah. There was a lot of great things out there. But
I wonder if there's, you know, how we got 432 hertz. I wonder if what frequency 777 hertz would be, if there's anything that can generate that. That'd be quite interesting. You know, God knows what we could conjure up.
Oh, yeah.
777 hertz. Next thing you know, I got a bloody portal behind me.
yeah.
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 Possibly. Right.
Oh, you know, you never know.
It's 777 is very high vibrational, and it keeps talking about etheric music, third eye, very powerful, luck and abundance. So there is. It's all over YouTube. Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Angelic frequency, pyramid frequency, because
Mhm.
seven realms, 7 keys, right?
Mhm.
There's 7 doors at Karnak, so we get into all that again. Absolutely.
Yep.
Crash It Today says, I woke up and felt I was not in this realm all morning until after I went to the beach. And so it should feel different. Norm and I were chatting with Lisa Harris, who I'm going to have on the show in a couple weeks, and having a conversation about just that, and that it's like this new game, and it's been tested. There's no more holes in the game. So we have this opportunity now to move forward. And not only that, like, we're good to go. There will be no more repeats. It's been a lot of repeats as we figured out this new simulation, so to speak. So
well, what about this one? 7 trumpets, 7 seals, 7 bowls.
Yes. 100%.
Love that. Yeah.
Now that's it. Now, as you know, the Bible has works with numbers as well.
Yep.
But they manipulated it, and God knows what it really means. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Norma, do you want to add to that?
What, the 777?
Yeah.
The only thing to add to the 777 is that I learned something new today about that. That it's the when you have like the tetrahedron and what is it, the I apologize, my brain is not wanting to.
That's all I love. Oh, good.
Fibonacci,
Well,
Tree of Life.
I apologize. I'm not going to be a part of this conversation right now. Sorry.
Okay, no worries.
I just went blank.
That's okay. No worries.
Download.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that happens. That happens
It
a
will
lot.
take you out while it does its process.
You get brain farts all the time, don't worry.
Yep.
Yeah. HB45's commenting, Obama AG, Eric Holder.
Hold on a minute.
Yeah.
1776. 6 plus 1, 777.
Yeah. That's great.
Right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Love it.
Yep. There you go.
Yeah.
That could be, that might have meaning because we just went through the 4th of July.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. Okay.
So we got that one.
Do you want me to bring some, I don't know, something in here a bit? What do you reckon? Break it up?
I've got some more questions.
Oh, you go for it.
Okay. It's rumored that Eric Holder has been arrested. AG Eric Holder. The rods tell me no, but do you know anything about that, FCB?
No.
Okay, no worries.
Now, there are strange things that are happening.
Yeah.
All right. Let me just share my screen for a moment. And, you know.
Eric Holder was the attorney.
No, I'm laughing because I know it's a wider production.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it's a wider production, and you know it's all obviously part of the deal, part of the game. Have a look at that. Initial test identify that white powder found at the White House as cocaine.
Oh boy.
It
Remember
just
they
gets
said-
funnier
There
and
we go.
Yeah,
funnier.
Hunter
it
Biden,
is.
right?
Yeah,
Oh my
that's
God.
exactly right. Like I look at it and I'm just like, are you serious right now? You know what I
You're
mean?
making this so obvious. I mean, my goodness.
Yeah, I mean the White House is turning into the crack house. You know what I mean?
How
It's
much
like
longer
Biden-
can this go on? Good Lord.
It's
Right?
like Biden's moved back in there, Brandon and the gang and Hunter, and they're having doing lines in the back room. I'm at Lincoln's desk.
It's like a,
Yeah, I mean, it's that ridiculous, guys. Seriously, absolutely ridiculous.
as if it wasn't before. Now it's an overdrive, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly that. I mean, we're seeing also France is on fire, right? And people are saying, "Oh, why is that happening?" Well, they're showing how incompetent of a leader Macron is. Number one, right? He's busy off, clapping his hands in Elton John concert while the place is burning down. Right? It's like Nero, Nero fiddling away while Rome was burning. That's exactly the same scenario, right? They're showing what an incompetent leader he is. And think about it. On the Q drops, it mentions the 3 M's. First one was Theresa May, gone. Second one was Merkel, gone. The third one that's been named on the hit list is Macron on the Q drops. I believe this is a way they're going to get rid of him. They were going to get rid of him. Remember the whiteouts, the way they work is that they've got so many different options in front of them. I believe they're going to get rid of him at the time of those other riots to do with the pensions. They had to do with the pensions. Now this is manifested in a different way, right? Mm-hmm. And I believe they're getting ready to get rid of Macron, but also what's in Paris. I mean, they just before this whole incident of this child being killed by the police, a 17-year-old child, 17, right? Now, Tanya, do you want to ask the Rods, this is all a show about the 17-year-old kid?
Yeah. Is the show 17-year-old kid all part of the show? Yep.
Yep.
100%.
Now, prior to that incident, we had a fire in a fashion, it was a fashion school, and right next to it, right, is a Catholic education office. So that has ties to the Vatican. Now, as you know, Paris underneath is full of tunnels. Mm-hmm. Now, I believe what's happening is the whiteouts are going in there and they're doing, obviously clean up. And this fire, this whole thing that's going on top is a distraction. Tanya, do you want to ask that one?
Yeah. Everything going on top is a distraction. Yep.
Yeah. So, and then now we're starting to see also, someone asked me in the chat about Russia, right? Now they're marching east, right? So what's happening with Russia? They've absorbed the Wagner group, right? Which was the ones that went against Russia. You remember when they were marching down that hired military service called the Wagner Group, right? They went there, and then Putin basically cleaned them up. Well, he's absorbed those military people, and he's using it, obviously, for their benefit now. Now, what are we seeing? We're seeing that apparently Ukraine have turned around to Putin and said, get out of this particular nuclear power plant by the 5th of July. 5th of July, which is just around the corner, guys. 5th of July. Now, what's happening? Ukraine is telling their people that are working in the nuclear power plant to get out. So already that's been, obviously there's warnings all around. Now, as you know, what are they trying to do? Obviously, Ukraine are trying to suck in NATO into a war in one way, shape, and form. What have we been seeing? A proxy war at this point, right? So the Western world have been contributing all their funds, all the taxes to a proxy war. Now, Ukraine and the West do not have access to nuclear bombs. They don't have it. Trump is the commander-in-chief. He's the only one that's got access to them. Mm-hmm. So what are the Ukraine doing? They are planning to do what they call a false flag event, and they're going to blame Putin that they're going to use this because it's nuclear material, obviously, in this reactor or this nuclear power plant, to blow it up. Already, they're starting to point the fingers at Putin and say, Putin's going to do it. In other words, the Ukrainians are going to do it. But get this, guys, this is all part of the show. This is all to happen organically. Remember, they are going to point the finger square at Putin, and then there's going to be the World War III scare event. It's going to come in, right? Now, if you see the movie The Sum of All Fears, The Day After, and the other movies, it all connects with what's going on right now. So what I'm saying is if you start to see things like that escalate into World War III, no, it's a scare event and it's meant for the masses. Does it make sense?
100%.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
Part of the show.
Yeah.
There you go. That's my
Big
deco
movie.
for the day. Yeah. But also, Trump, let me show you some tweets, some Q drops that are coming out, right? And this is, we're reaching the Delta, which is the 8th of July, right? And apparently, according to the Q drops, we are going to see D-class. So a lot of D-class coming out, a lot of D-class material. And it's got to do with Pfizer, which is to do with the Five Eyes. Okay?
Super
also,
important.
Yes, it is. It is very important, right? Let me just see if I can bring in my screen once again. Right. Okay. And here we go. Right. Now, can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
And it says, what happens when those who held positions of power and influence no longer pulls the strings, right? So the strings are being cut. Now, you've got to comprehend that they're talking about the puppets and the puppet masters. Now, the puppets are the ones in Congress, the ones that even the president is considered to be a puppet. He is a CEO of the District of Columbia Corporation, right? So all the strings are being cut. Therefore, the whites have got control. No longer are they going to be, blackmailed. What happens when blackmail no longer works, right? So do you become a liability? In other words, they become a liability. The puppets become a liability to the puppet masters, right? Mm-hmm. Now, you got here further down, it says here, so good to see you. Are you returning publicly again? Now, something's happening there. Welcome back, Q. So good to see you. Are you returning publicly again? The time has come to re-enter the public domain. Now, someone asked the question, is Q coming back to answer, put some more drops? There's your answer. It's coming back, right? Now, have a look at this one. Q drop 3368, 8th of July, reaching its Delta, all right? And look what's playing. Guardians of the Pedophiles, Panic in DC, and what do we see there? Pfizer Gate, right? So all these things are going to be playing simultaneously. What are we seeing? Right? Pedophiles, what's that movie being played? Sound of Freedom. Look at the number on top. 4th of July.
Mm-hmm.
No coincidences, guys. No coincidences. Now, let's keep going. Flynn's news is coming. So Flynn, remember when Trump said just recently that Flynn is coming back, that we want him to be healthy and he's coming back. So we're expecting Flynn to make an entrance. Okay, the 3-star general, the people's general. Q's telling us here, we are with you, reminding us that Trump is with us. Q plus is Trump. What did we just see recently on the 4th of July? Forgotten country. What do we have? Independence Day, American flag, right? We are with you, Q plus. Trump is telling us. Now what's Trump telling us? It's his turn. Sweet dreams. Pain's coming, guys. And D-class as well. There you go. What do you think? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's all part of it, right? I think a lot of that's out there, but this will be for the public, right? The public sector to see a lot of that. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly that.
Yeah. We all know that.
More decoding for this part of the show. No more. I think I've done my bit. Yeah. And don't forget, we've got God's Army tomorrow for that. So tune in tomorrow, guys.
Yeah.
All the intel and all that. So let's talk about happy stuff. Let's talk about happy and all that, you know?
Let's talk about me moving around furniture by myself while Rex watches. I had to say something funny.
You're a champion. You're an absolute champion. How do you manage that?
No, he's a gentleman. We were just laughing because he was looking at his phone, right? And here I am moving this big piece of furniture. It was like an SNL skit. And then I moved the couch, and then I waited to see. I said, I wonder if he's going to notice. And then I moved it. There was a table that we were moving because we were doing a video, so we were trying to move stuff around. And here's me, I'm all 5'1" of me, trying to shove a couch. It was so funny. It was
it's one of those moments.
I'm just teasing you, Mike. It was so funny.
Well, I know, but it was one of those moments I was engrossed and I hadn't been on my phone in a while. So it was ding ding, and I was in somewhere, and then so we come back and I was looking at that and I was answering something, and I see her move this big ass couch that's coming back, but I don't really concentrate on that. And I'm one that opens doors for you, even in the car and all kinds of things. So I'm conscious of that kind of stuff, but I wasn't. Okay, so I'm sitting there looking at this, and then she moves this big couch coming across, and then she's all barely 5 foot. I mean, she's little thing. Okay,
so Tracy.
Tracy. So then she's
little pocket rocket, eh?
Yeah.
Well, Tanya is too. I thought Tanya was a lot taller.
Tanya's a tall.
She's tiny, but she is strong.
I thought you were tall.
No, she's not. And I mean, barely over the bed. You can barely see over the couch part. Yeah. And so then
how tall are you, Tanya?
I'm 5'6".
No way, Rex. How tall are you?
I didn't realize that.
I'm 6 foot. But,
you're like a bloody giant. Yeah.
But I'm standing next to Tracy.
Just one under you, mate. 5'11".
Okay. And Tracy, she's everything about 5 foot and hoping for more. Okay. So she's like 5'8". Okay. So she's down there. She's this little. All she is, she's this pure muscle. Okay, she's just this little. Anyway, she's moving that.
That's what I call it, a pocket rocket.
Yes. Oh.
Yeah.
Norma, how tall are you, love? 5'7".
5'7". Yeah.
Cool.
I thought
cool.
Tanya was going to be like 6.
I thought Tanya was like this.
What
did I have in this mind?
Yeah.
Yeah, 6'5" and heels. Huge. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm moving that right, and Rex is like.
And I missed the whole opportunity to be the gentleman. And then she goes and gets a table. She goes, okay, well, did you not see me? I go, yeah, okay, sorry about that. Then she goes and gets this table that's bigger than her, and she's pushing it through. And then she gets up to me, and I'm back on my phone again. And she goes, oh, don't mind me, I got this. And I'm like, oh my God, I started laughing. It was
so you would liken Tracy to a Chihuahua, all bark, no bite, or am I wrong? Are you bite and bark, or
she'll both? She puts out a frequency like I'm the nicest until you get into this frequency. If I didn't like you in it,
there you go. Get out of my space.
That's probably why.
She will hold her own.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's why Tanya does her hair like that, so she gets more height.
I never said I was tall. Everyone just thinks I'm taller. Even at Vedette Lake. Oh, I thought you were taller. I was like,
Yeah.
do I need stilts?
I reckon if you know stiletto things, it adds a couple of inches or so, doesn't it? Yes,
Yeah.
it'll bump it up a bit. So if Tracy's what, are you 4'9" or something, Tracy?
No, she's 5'1".
5'1" and a
5'1",
quarter.
okay.
And a
Sorry.
quarter.
5'1" and a quarter.
And a quarter.
With shoes or without shoes?
I guess without shoes. I mean, I don't wear heels or anything, any of that. Yeah. If you catch me in heels, something's wrong.
Yeah, do you have kiddies of your own, Tracy?
No, I don't. No kids.
Okay.
No kids.
Any
Yep.
nephew, nieces, stuff like that?
Yeah, I've got a niece and nephews. Yeah.
Do they go bang on the head, you know? Hey,
Yeah.
they're going, auntie, you know?
Well, they're probably all taller than me now. I haven't seen them in a while, but everybody's tall in my family but me. I got the short gene.
That's all right. They say, what do they say? Good things come in little packages, isn't that right? You know?
That's what I like to
Yeah.
say. Yeah.
exactly that.
Funny.
That's awesome. So, Tracy, last time we spoke, and a lot of people really wanted to know more about your experience with the ET that you were speaking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you were working for the military, is that right?
Yeah, I was a contractor, defense contractor for national. We'll just say National Reconnaissance Office. That was who I contracted for, and that's who the interview was. And what I've come to feel, and this is my own knowing, so everybody just take what resonates. But I feel like that girl in the back of the room. So there's a gentleman, interviewing me, and then the girl in the back of the room. They were both Space Force. I feel galactic connected, and that girl, I feel like somehow, I can't explain this, is a future version of me. And I know that sounds nuts, but that's my feeling, especially after this week. I don't know how to explain it. That's my feeling.
Well, this is the thing. I mean, you obviously, been in the room with ET. You've spoken with them. Obviously they're there for our best interest.
Best and highest interest is what always comes in, and their message again was to go within. That's their message. There wasn't any, worship me. They don't want. There's none of that. And they're very. What I always get to is it's more human like. The Space Force, the people working with Space Force. That's what I've always gotten. I know there's different types of ETs, but the ones that I feel I'm very connected with are more human like future versions of us.
Right. Okay. And obviously there are different types. Is that right?
Lots of different types. Yeah.
And they're beyond our ice wall.
Well, beyond the ice wall, I mean, I don't know as much about that. I think there's other beings beyond there. I don't, it's kind of up for debate on where they all come from, right? There's all these different star systems. My feeling and what I resonate with the most is that we're all kind of a mixed bag, right? There's angelics, there's, different Pleiadians, Arcturians, Andromedans, and I feel like that group called the Guardians. That's why Space Force is called the Guardians. I feel like that is again us. It's all us coming back, and that's why a lot of us resonate with the Q stuff, because it's all about going within. They don't want anybody worshiping anybody in the alliance. We don't worship, none of that, because that's what's always gotten us in trouble, right? With this whole narrative with the deep state and all of that, because, we have been looking outside of ourselves. I mean, yes, we've been programmed, but it's more about, you go within your own knowing. Like, don't listen to me, don't listen to Rex or Norma, Tanya, or yourself. You take your own knowing from that information. And that's what I feel their big message is. I don't, to be honest, some of the exopolitics narratives, just personally, I don't resonate with as much anymore, because
I think Tracy just froze.
Yeah.
That's okay.
There you go.
Did I freeze? Is that okay?
You're okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
So-
Interesting. That's happened a couple times.
So what I was going to say, Tracy. Now, obviously, I'm a person that questions everything. Right? I like to question everything. And would you consider ETs to be in the same bag as paranormal, as in ghosts, as in spirits, as in that?
I would probably separate that a bit, although I could see somebody putting those all together.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. My feeling with ghosts and things like that is it's more of like a record and playback, sort of like a, an event that happened, right? Residual. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Yeah.
when we were down in Georgia, I had gotten the information that when humans started to be put into caskets, it contained part of our essence, right? And so when the soul leaves, it's actually kind of trapped. And so I was working on releasing souls from graveyards while we were there. And there's many that actually do that. So people get caught, ghosts get caught. If you take your life, you can be a little more trapped. If you OD, you can be a little more trapped, and you might need some support to actually exit. Because your vibration, your frequency wasn't at the right level. So people on morphine, right? You can also be trapped. So those are more what I believe are ghosts and entities are partially still here until they can be released, and certain people can help release them. David was very busy at Vedette the first night because lots of souls are coming, like he knows what to do, right? So he's like almost a beacon of light to come to, as am I. But you need to pick it up. Yeah. Possibly like Marilyn Monroe. Yeah. Bob's saying. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, you can confuse that with interdimensional,
yes.
Forms, and say that could be a ghost. There could be that kind of confusion, if you know what I mean.
Absolutely.
And I guess it comes down to the person, like, as in, if you're in tune, you can tell the difference between what is ET and what is residual energy and what is, say, a trapped soul.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's many ETs in human form.
Yes. Yes, us, right?
Right.
That's us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're human, yes, but we have, we're a mixed bag.
Higher dimensional. Yeah.
Higher dimensional. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
17Q. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk about the pyramids in Georgia. Now, how are they connected to the ones in Egypt?
They mimic them. So there's pyramids around the world that mimic the Egyptian pyramids, and there's some in Georgia. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And would you say the ETs are the ones that created these pyramids?
It was original gods that created those pyramids and came in to control and manipulate because they knew that they could connect that energy. And so the pyramids also do something else. The pyramids also make ormus, which is philosopher's stone, which is monatomic gold as well, because underneath is the mercury. So when David was down in Mexico, that's what he says, that's what they're for. They can activate them. It's also to connect higher frequency, because when you're in the king's chamber and you start to vibrate at a specific degree, it reverberates in there and actually affects your body. So the guards don't like you to use the frequencies in there, but you just pay them off and get them out of there. And crop circles too. Crop circles are for to activate us and to get us going. Oh, there's something else here. There's something else going on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I saw a book apparently that contained the method of creating gold using the Philosopher's Stone. Now, as you know, the Freemasons have a lot of esoteric, or you got esoteric and esoteric, is that right? Like inner secret knowledge. I think it's called esoteric. Is that right?
Esoteric.
Exoteric means outwards, because exo in Greek means out.
Yeah.
Right?
And ISO.
So what I'm saying is these Freemasons have got a lot of that knowledge in there, obviously, and they've kept it within them, their so-called society, because these things do exist. These things do exist. They know how to make gold.
100%. Well, and gold is actually so much more important than anyone realizes, and it's not about the money. It's about what gold can do as a conductor for us and for Earth and the connection again. Yeah.
I reckon silver's is actually more valued than gold.
Yeah.
It's just been suppressed by the cabal. Made that way.
Yeah, but gold has a really specific purpose, and it actually needs to be in Earth. So it has to do with the ley lines. It has to do with the energy. It has to do with the connection.
So all that removal of gold has affected our ley lines.
It's affected the energy on Earth, as did
energy.
Stop the currency from flowing, the canals. And when we were in Georgia, Norma was picking up on that big time that, and they used a lotus flower to send down the river. And so there's even things around the flower of life and actually a lotus of life that we're just tapping into now. So there's so much we don't know that we're just learning now because information is coming in like crazy right now.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's on overload.
Yeah.
So would it be fair to say that the whiteouts have taken the gold and put it in those particular points to re-establish the ley lines?
Yes, partially. So gold will be used for re-establishing ley lines and dragon lines. There's something to do with the dragon lines, and that just came in today, so we don't have a lot about it. Somebody else asked, maybe the Georgia pyramids are on ley lines that connects to Egypt. So are all pyramids on ley lines that are connected? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Those Georgia stones, are they linked to the pyramids?
Are the Georgia stones linked to the pyramids? Yep. And actually, Kamani Fighter 11 was on a show and asking about his grandson who lives near a cemetery, and I helped release them. And he says, "Thank you, Tanya, for releasing the souls in the cemetery. Many of the souls in that cemetery were from the Knights of Pythus, erected the Georgia Guy stones." Interesting.
Right.
Interesting.
Now, would you say that those guide stones have been blocking a certain energy from those pyramids?
Where the guide stones blocking
I'm sure
energy.
it's got to do with blocking.
Yeah. I was just going to say, yeah.
100%.
Yeah,
that's
a lot of stuff they put in there. I'm sorry to interrupt, but a lot of stuff I feel has done that to block, right? I think Rex and Norma, we were talking about that too with Tanya, some of those other areas. Yeah, the cabal was doing that, right? Blocking and clogging up a lot of those energy lines that are being released. Yeah.
And obviously, when those Georgia stones collapsed, there was a big energy shift.
Yeah.
Major. I believe there was a huge shift from that day, not only symbolic, what it symbolizes is the depopulation agenda and all the rest of it. But I believe the moment that those things were demolished, it was like energy just coming out from everywhere, just like a blocked energy, like how you got a dam and you release the dam and just a flood of energy came through, surging through. Now, what's your thoughts on that?
Well, when I was in Egypt, I was guided to do some specific things with stones, and one was to break a stone in half and drop half of it in the Nile. And it's unlocking things and releasing things. And just by me pacing or walking and following the rods to do what I needed to do, I'm bridging ley lines. I'm connecting them again. Nobody knows it from the outside watching me, and most of the time I didn't even know until the end, because it's important that it's not super like, oh, look what I'm doing and visual about it. It just happens. And that's probably the most important part, is it's just happening. And the same with even at Vedette is bridging energies there, right? Because that's a huge connection point. And even the sweat lodge, that fire pit is a huge connection point. And so when you think about it this way, when you have a point where there's a vortex at the center of the universe that goes down to the center of the earth, that's why it's called that. And by us being there and sending in certain vibrations and certain intentions, it's going out like a spider web to the rest. And so you're inserting good vibrations and it's going out. So you can set those intentions, which is what's really beautiful about it. And it's
So,
good for humans.
with the ley lines, right?
Yeah.
They are they were used for bad. They can be used for either bad or good. It's different energy. I mean, it doesn't matter what type of energy, it's energy. It's a way of distributing energy. Is that right? Is that what you call a ley line? What is the purpose of a ley line?
It's like meridians of the body. It's earth meridian lines. It's transferring energy and sending energy in specific ways. It's opening up the chakras for earth. And activating. And many people are working on this. Mateus worked on that years ago, 2 or 3 years ago. He remembers all his lifetimes. He was going around and activating specific areas. David's going around and activating. He's going over to Hawaii in the fall and doing some activations there. It's all prophecy stuff. This stuff has been like, this will happen and then this will happen. And so these things are all happening. People are running around planting crystals, like, right, Tracy? Like,
oh yeah, that's what I've been doing. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And
The star
that shifts things. Yeah.
The star forts too are coming online. A lot of the star forts, you know, a lot of us are getting free energy. I mean, some of that's out there. And I think we're going to see those come online because the grid is so big. It's not just one thing, right? It's the free energy activation. I think we are bringing that. A lot of us are bringing that online. That's my feeling. Yeah.
Absolutely. And
it's definitely amazing times. Let me tell you that much. I mean,
yeah,
I feel energy shifts all the time, you know, and you know, okay, something's happening. You can feel it out there. It's when you connect more and more with the universal mind, and you connect with. I can't explain it. It's like you connect with everything around you. And I'm not just talking about locally. I'm talking about out there. You know what I mean?
Right?
And I mean out there.
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And what type of grid work do you do, Tracy?
Well, what I do is I just have it's important that everybody, I feel like, does their own, you know, what they connect with, but I use just Arkansas quartz crystals, and I plant frequencies in there using a Rife machine. So I do like the joy and compassion and love and the solfeggio frequencies. And then I put that out in the sunlight. Yep. And then I plant them. And I know Tanja kind of has her own grid that she does, right? And Norma, you know, we all have our own way that we connect. And then you set, really, you can just go and set intention. You could use stones. You could just, you know, not use anything and just go connect with the tree.
Exactly. Yeah. Even people painting the stones with the mandalas, right? I'm like, that is a great thing to do. And they were doing that at Vedette. She bought her whole kit and they were painting. I was like, awesome, do it 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Norma makes these amazing. It's incredible. The multi-dimensional drawings.
Oh yeah.
It's incredible. I showed Rex. It was like, I can't, it's in my car right now, but I mean, she made me this beautiful, it's incredible.
You can see things in it. I did. I saw it. I looked at it. I was like, you take a second, and all of a sudden, I just was like, wow, I see this. I mean, I see things there.
Rex, tell us a little more about what you're seeing that's different over the last couple weeks, 3 weeks than previously, because you really read ley lines or timelines.
Oh yeah, that's a little gift that's been like a Truman Show for me. It really has. It's just, and I just let it be. I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna tell you what I see, how I see it, and it's a gift that's coming. I'm tied to timeline somehow or another, and it's a gift that keeps on giving. But it you know, and if I hadn't had a group to talk with about the weirdness of it all, I would be in a home somewhere just staring at the wall because it's just that weird. But what I would see is I tune into a little bit. I have to think about it, and not for long, but I can start to see the timelines that we're on. Like the way that it's comes to me, it's more they're events, and they're not labeled, but they are in subject matter. So it's like
again
a political event, a spiritual
here
event.
we go.
Yeah. What? What? I hear you.
Oh, we just lost you, brother.
Oh, yeah, because I'm talking about the timelines. Am I back?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Maybe I'm not supposed to share. I don't know.
Please let him share.
You never know. No coincidences.
Yeah, that's
Right.
exactly right.
But I'm gonna tell
Never
you,
a dull moment.
you're right. But it's
Right?
what I see is anyway, they're event oriented and subject matter. I don't see your individual timelines. I see it as an energy. And when I tune in, and they're circles
Yeah.
somewhat, and they all have cogs. That
Every
connect
time he
them.
talks about something special, that always happens.
Yep. And it starts to spin. One of them can spin another, which a little event can spin a bigger event, but I can see them coming forward. Okay. And once I made the bad mistake of saying it's like they're in my living room. And I meant that in perspective to seeing it like if you saw this thing at the end of the street versus in your living room. So what I meant was it's coming in closer. The events. I see 2024 events being pushed to the front of and coming out. And then there's like this front and they drop. And when they drop, I can tune in and I know it's a Biden event. I know now. Otherwise, it's labeled as political, religious. Like the religious ones are in the back. And this is the way I see it. And they keep coming, they move forward. All right. And when they drop, then I can see the individual things. But one little bitty cog in there can turn two big ones. That's what I'm saying. Every little bitty thing matters. And so we're in this big event right now. That's I saw it coming, but now we're in it. So that it's, and it's got multitudes of things. One little thing affects the other and the other and the other. And I mean, it's more specific than that, but that's another whole chit chat. But that's what it's like for me. But yeah, I can see that. And for whatever reason, I need to know that. The information that comes with me, then that will be something that Tracy all of a sudden needs, and it just pops out. And I'm like, oops. Yeah.
That's awesome.
We're all activating each other, like we were saying. So it's just stuff is just, and it's going to continue. It's going to amplify. Yeah.
Oh, also, in the real, like in the, what do you say, 3D, if you want to notice it then, maybe people have gotten this. I was flying home with my wife from Las Vegas, and we were talking about something, and I was trying to make a decision. And so right when I made my decision, I happened to, and I get this all the time, and Las Vegas was really big on that, but it's Sin City, but I don't care. But I saw the tray table of the thing in front of me jump about 2 inches right after that. He just goes, shh. I go, ooh, hey. And I go, there was a timeline shift, and I went to the higher good with it. So I knew, and I got goosebumps, okay, but I knew that I was on the higher. That's the way I see it in the real terms. I can also tune in, but then people disappear on a sidewalk. Like, you're washing your truck and someone's walking along and you kind of go down below the window and you come back up and she's gone. There's no way. What happened? And then they don't just go away. There's always some reason for something. But that's for me, timeline shifts. I can notice things like that. And anyway, but I have a question. Oh, yeah. I have one question.
Yeah, go for it, Rick.
Oh, you were talking about the gold and all that stuff. Mercury is what really confuses me because we've been told that it's like this poison, and when you drop a thermometer at the doctor, they're running over. We don't touch it, and they get it with paper and they scoop it up and doing all this. And you're scared to death of it. But then I think I know it spins and has energy to it, and it can. If you put it in an electromagnet, it can make light, or it does stuff. Am I right? What's going on there? Are we been lied to?
Of course. Is mercury bad for us? No. Oh, I gotta get that on front. No.
Okay.
Is mercury good for alchemy? Yes.
Yeah.
So, think about it, Rex. What do they do? They tell us stuff that is bad for us, but it's actually good for us. It's like they're the complete bloody opposite.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. That's what it's come down to. You got a headache, take a pill. No, do the complete opposite. Drink more water.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Just like the history, right? His story.
Yeah.
We were getting that. When did we get Rex with something with the Alamo? Like none of that is.
Oh, well.
Just as an example, right? None of it is what we've been told. Right?
Well, it's just not possible for them to have made that under what they've set up as a history with, wagons and barely able to make rope. Yet you've got this Alamo. If you look at it, when you go, there's been the repairs. Okay. So that's with mortar and all this goop that they've done to. But when you get to the main stones, the ones that are still advanced, they are so positioned like pyramid rock. I mean, you can't get a credit card through them. There's no mortar there. So two types of building are going on there. The original, which was made by something or somehow it was for another reason. Then you've got everybody else putting mortar and all this through the hundreds of years trying to fix it, which is a mess. but the real stones sit razor. I mean, they are like together, just like the pyramid. You can't even get a credit card between them. That's not with somebody that has a cart, rope, and a mule. That's not going to happen like that. So it begs to be discovered, you know.
Tanya, there's a question for you.
Yeah.
You want to read that one out?
Yeah.
Go for
Are
it.
the fairies in the same dimension as dragons? The fifth. So fairies, dragons, unicorns, all kinds of new. So look at it this way too. So as we increase in vibration, there will be new animals coming in and new creatures. Sorry, I've got like quite a few bites. New creatures coming in. I need a baking soda bath. New creatures coming in, but also as we vibrate higher, we're going to be able to see more. So these eyes can only see a certain frequency. So I think I know everyone's getting these upgrades, especially when you're like, I just had to go lie down and I slept for 2 hours. Well, guess what? Right? 17Q was mentioning that earlier. I'm like, you're getting worked on. You're getting upgrades. Or the whole time at Vedette, I would wake up with the birds and I'd be like, yeah, no, eye mask on. I'm going back to sleep. And I slept like a lot.
Like the old days, Tanya, when you used to go out clubbing and stuff, and then you come home with the birds, and it's like, please shut up. I'm trying to sleep now.
Or we get a hangover, like you're like, oh my God.
Yeah, please piss off, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And so we also had this like tapped in conversation for a few minutes in regards to because we've been here before, this close, think Atlantean, think there's many times where we've come this close and we've not made it. And so there's this in our DNA, which I think is being, we've been discussing, that's being worked on, that we are making it this time. There is nothing that can stop this. So thumbs up. Norma, your mic is too bad to bring you back on, but stay please and give us hand gestures and high fives.
That's it. That's it. Awesome.
She's giving us codes. She's giving us some codes.
Yeah.
Okay, got a question for you guys. I know, take your pick. Whoever wants to take it. Crash it today. Thank you very much. Do you think we will be able to see our relatives who are passed over? Now, I know you've answered this before, Tanya.
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Energetically, even now, we can connect with them, and you just need to go inward to do it. And so this sensory deprivation, so eyes closed, no sound, no binaural beats, nothing, and just sitting in. And I know it doesn't sound easy. I know it could be hard. Maybe you need a bit of binaural beats to get you in for 20 minutes. But if you can do that for build it up to like an hour or two a day is really, really, really good, because that will shift you no matter what. The more you get your monkey mind like a dog under control, because it is good for many things when you call on it, but the more you can get it under control, the more tapped in you will become. So even at Vedette, stuff came out of my mouth, and I know it's not me because I didn't even get to think about it. It just comes out. It's like,
just the knowing, right?
Yeah. Just spitting out truth here.
There's another one here, darling, for you, right here.
I see something or someone to the right of me moving very often, but when I look, there's no one there. Yeah, you won't be able to look. So that's a corner of the eye thing. I don't think it's an eye problem. No, it's ascension symptom. Yeah. So that's actually quite common for people to see flashes of lights out of the corner of their eyes or see somebody there. You won't be able to look and see, but you could just observe from looking forward and then putting your vision over there and asking, hello, you got something to share, because they will telepathically communicate. Will you get to physically hug people that are on the other side? I don't know. I get it's more of a communication connection thing, but you will have that feeling as if you're with them. Yeah.
The thing is, you see things. I've seen things on the corner of my eye quite a few times. And I say, hey, how you going? While you're at it, go to the fridge and grab me a beer. You know what I mean? While you're at it. You know what I mean? Don't be afraid, right? Yeah. Don't be afraid, okay? People don't get it. That we are meant to see these things. Yeah. We're being suppressed.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
What else do we have, Tanya?
Yeah.
Penny Lane was asking me, are the constant dimes from our guides or past relatives? And I was getting both. They come from both for her. So you can ask for signs, right? If you're with me, guides, please show me feathers. If you're with me, guides, ask for things, ask for signs, ask for confirmations. If you don't ask, you don't get. Right?
True.
If you don't ask, you're just waiting for them to drop a shoe on your head. You need to open up that communication.
Mate, no.
They might throw a shoe at your head at one point.
They might. I mean, you may ask. Be careful what you wish for, right?
Right. Yeah.
Exactly that. Exactly that. So we reckon we wrap it up, guys. I think it's getting to that time.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Tanya, unless you want to keep going.
Go ahead. Yeah, I'm just so happy to be back. I literally just got home and jumped online. I have not even checked anything else going on in my life. My kid, I think, is in her room. I haven't even seen her yet. So I'm going to go hang out with her. And just a reminder, everyone, that some really big magic happening right now in terms of, getting to see what you want to see, watching for signs. Be curious and watch for signs in music, in dreams, in words somebody else says near you, or on a TV show, or whatever you're into.
Numbers.
Watch for signs because they will come through.
Woo.
Yeah.
Numbers.
One more question, Tanya, right there for you. What are dimes? Or whoever wants to answer that question, go right ahead.
Dimes are 10-cent pieces. So when she's asking it, some people, it's so funny because when I was down in Georgia, I'm like, pennies. I haven't seen pennies. We don't have pennies.
Oh, that's right.
I kept pulling them out of my wallet and plugging them into the earth with the with the.
When you find a dime in the freezer, it's from your grandmother.
Tanya, people are starting to ask more questions. You got the chi unblocked, and everybody's starting to ask questions here. Susie K, binaural beats recommendation. Tanya, question mark.
Yeah, you know what? I would just go on YouTube and listen to what resonates to you, because everyone's frequency is going to be very different. When you find one that you like to hear, go for it. Yeah. Awesome. Now, before we wrap it up, I just want to say something. I just got banned off YouTube for the second time. Strike 2. 90 days in jail. Well, you know what I said? Enough's enough. Time to part ways. You know what I mean? Finish it off. No more screw tube. Guys, this is all part of the show. Obviously, this is how they're going to bring down these, as per the Q drops, as it says, the kill list. Google, YouTube, all those ones are listed on that particular drop. That they're going to kill them off. I believe that they're showing YouTube what they've been all about. You know what I mean? Suppression of speech and all that sort of thing. They're getting ready to do the big takedown. They're not going to change it because, you know what I mean? Obviously, you got to discredit the cabal's creations. Just like the mainstream media. It's something that's been set on a path of self-destruction. So you'll find us now on Rumble, always, and Facebook. For some reason, Facebook's not, they've been okay. I don't comprehend it, but Facebook has been okay. Like with YouTube, it was all over this, right? Healer's Perspective show, they said the word COVID. That was it.
Oh,
finished.
Geez.
I can.
Oh my gosh.
Right? Yeah. So anyway, obviously no love lost there. They can, go and jam it. But guys, final thoughts. Over to you.
Go ahead, Tracy.
I just, I always try to throw the more positive spin on things, but I just see the magic. I see the magic that's happened especially the last couple of weeks. Going back to getting out in nature and getting together with people, all of that is happening. And that's all part of, I feel like, the raising of the vibration of the earth, right? So we'll have all this stuff going on. And I'm also happy because I do feel like the situation with the humanitarian efforts are starting soon. That's where I'm feeling. So that's kind of where my vibration's at. and everything is looking really good. And like Tanya, like we were all saying, nothing can stop what's coming. Nothing. We did not come here to lose. We are 100% on track where we need to be. Our vibration is there, and we're pushing forward. The movie can go whatever, but that's where we're at. And that's the message that I keep getting in constantly. Best and highest interest of humanity. If you're not operating in that, you're out of that frequency space, right? It's not, nothing can, nothing can stop it. So anyway, that's my little cheerleader.
Awesome.
Rex? Yeah.
Go ahead,
Rex, did you want to?
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going off of what I just had that experience with Tracy with the first grid work experience that I've had. I mean, look, I'm a guy from Texas that the trees are going to talk to. So yeah, that's not going to go well with the next football. But it is. They talked, and they said to me when I was there, when I came on that, I had goosebumps. It was, we're glad you're here. We've been waiting for you. Okay, I was like, wow. Okay, my message is to this: get out there with the nature. You don't use an excuse. It's too hot. It's too humid. Or whatever. Get out there and just walk in it. And just see what you feel, because you'll love yourself. You love yourself. They love you too. And the plants, they know you. I swear, I'm telling you, that was an experience for me. And so now I've got 3 more places I got to go. I'm gonna be by myself. I'm gonna tune into Tracy. Go look where I am, and then I'm gonna do what she does. On her chat. Yeah. But I'm gonna go out and do some places and put some crystals, because I know where some places are now that I realize what I know. So, and you can too. I'm just a normal person. So this is there for you to find, just get together with yourself. That's your biggest person that you need to be with. And it will be magical.
All right, Norma, give it a try.
Give it a try. How's it sound? Go within, stay within, be the change you will seek to be.
Perfect. Nailed it. Yeah.
Tanya?
Yeah, absolutely. Go do something that brings you joy, that makes you happy. And if it's going outside, great. If it's going to a river, if it's going fishing, if it's going gardening, whatever makes you happy. And when you're out in there, really observe, right? Because we're connected to everything. Like I swear there was a dog at Vedette that was one of the guides. It was doing the work. It was talking to me. Like, yeah. It would come over and give me messaging, and I'm like, all right, dude, I'll come help you. Anyways, yeah. So absolutely, whatever brings you joy, as long as it doesn't harm anyone else and it's for the highest good, go do it. Go do it. Go have some fun, because when you vibrate higher, you're going to shift everything. It's all going to happen much faster.
Yeah.
Yep.
Love it.
No snakes were hurt in this program. Sorry, Tanya.
I tell you, can't make him up.
All right, guys. Look, we don't need to look. Today, in America is Independence Day, right? In Canada has its own. I think it's called Canadian Day or something like that. Is that right, Tanya?
Canada Day, it was July 1st. I was up for that.
July 1st.
Yeah.
Right. Now, what that is about, is it similar to do with the Independence Day, or is it something different?
I don't know. It's just a big party day, in my opinion.
Just an excuse.
Canada's not even a country right now. Canada's just territories thinking they're being ruled by a government. So
yeah, exactly. What I want to say is, like Tracy said, you can use something that was a day, that means something as in, independence from a foreign entity, and that being Britain, or you can use it as a day as to remember what freedom's all about, right? Freedom is sovereignty. Now, I keep saying to people, you can make your stand today and say, I declare my sovereignty as a sovereign being. It's my God-given right. Okay, I don't need the government to give me my sovereignty. That's liberty. You're relying on liberty. No. This is your freedom we're talking about. And what does Q tells us? The true price is freedom. And the only way you're going to get your real freedom is not to rely on external factors, not to rely on a piece of paper to tell you that you're free. Only you can do that for yourself. And you can declare that right here, right now, in the now time space. So do it today.
Yep.
Declare your freedom, declare your sovereignty, all right, and get connected with God. Because once you have that connection, all your fears and doubts will melt away. And you will be able to manifest whatever reality you choose to manifest in your life. Remember, we are beings of creation. We are beings of manifestation. The power has always been in your hands. So anyway, thank you very much for tuning into Vibes High Show here on the Freedom Channel broadcast with the amazing Tanya, the lovely Tracy, the amazing Rex, and the and Norma. Norma, the amazing Norma, you're amazing. I mean, did a lot of sign language. Doesn't matter, love. You know about the. It's all good. It's all good. So until next time, goodbye, good night. Thank you. Grand rising, wherever you are in this beautiful world. God bless you. Cheers, everybody. Thank you, everyone. Cheers.
Bye.
Love you.
Love you.
Bye.